What? That would be older. You're staying. I was. I didn't.
Great way to start it. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Ruben Bogus.
Present.
Page.
Here.
Valley.
Here.
Finger. Here. Wolford. Here. Cummings.
Here. I am going to start out the evening with special. So I would like, actually you guys can sit out there and then I might have you, because I want to hand you out proclamation, but anyway, I was going to make you all stand up here, but I'll be nice. Let's say. So anyway, we have our village gardeners here with us this evening, and they are going to leave us retired. But anyway, we will be more than welcome, or you guys be more than welcome to come back at any point if you want to. Still trying to figure out how we're going to move forward there, but maybe we'll do an adopt a patch or something. So we'll be working that out hopefully before next spring, and then maybe even before Christmas or something. So but we certainly are going to miss all of your guys' hard work, because you guys have done a lovely, lovely job for many, many, many years. And I know the village has appreciated it. Everybody, I mean, oh gosh, I mean, people compliment the flower baskets and the islands all the time. So want to thank you very much for all your work. It's good. We're going to miss you tremendously. We really are. I know BJ and I years ago, after we went to the hanging baskets, and me and BJ decided we could just try and do some of the concrete planters. I think people noticed that it wasn't. But BJ and I did the best we could to spruce them up, and since then Stuart with Public Works does a pretty good job. So he's got some flowers in there. So we're trying, but it'll never be as good as what you guys did. So thank you very, very much. So I'm going to read your proclamation, and then I'm going to come out and hand one to each one of you, right? So her proclamation reads, a proclamation of appreciation for the village gardeners' years of dedication. Whereas the village of St. Joseph has been fortunate to enjoy the tireless efforts and dedication of the village gardeners who have consistently volunteered their time and expertise to enhance the beauty of our community. And whereas the village gardeners have contributed significantly to the aesthetics appeal of our public spaces through planting, cultivating, and maintaining numerous gardens, parks, and green spaces within the village. And whereas the vibrant flower displays and well-maintained green spaces created by the village gardeners has not only provided a visually pleasing environment for residents and visitors alike, but have also promoted a sense of community pride and well-being. And whereas the collective efforts of the Village Gardeners has played a crucial role in making St. Joseph a more attractive, inviting, and pleasant place to live, work, and play. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor Tammy Curling Bogus, along with the Board of Trustees of the Village of St. Joseph, do hereby express our deepest gratitude and heartfelt appreciation to the Village Gardeners for their outstanding contributions to the beautification and enhancement of the community. Be it therefore resolved that we commend the Village Gardeners for their unwavering dedication, hard work, and passion, which have made a lasting positive impact on our village. We encourage all residents to join us in recognizing and celebrating the remarkable achievements of the Village Gardeners. So.
Right.
And one more sneak in. We thank you guys so much, all of you. So I'm going to come out and give you each one of these. Well, I've learned a lot from you guys too. So. Thank you very much, everybody.
Just thank you for all the, it's been, like Julie said, it's been a good partnership for a lot of years. Some of these people have been in the group for the whole time. Raise your hand for those who. But it takes a lot of work, and we've pretty much enjoyed it. The weeds are growing and nothing else is really going. It gets frustrating, you know that. Yeah, the weeds have done well. But it could happen, you know, I mean, the watering and, you know, the paying for the materials. I think a lot of people don't know, you know, really how it worked, that the village paid for the plant materials, and we did the work of planting and maintaining, except for the watering, which the village did, and
But I did want to say at the beginning, we were out in pickup trucks with garbage containers watering it. That's how we did it. And milk cartons. Yeah.
I can remember some of that.
So we really appreciated that one.
Yeah.
I, and through the years too, have enjoyed your garden walks and also even some little garden parties. So that was a very nice thing for our community also, is to have those garden walks. So, so there was a lot that you guys did. So it's great that you guys have been around for as long as you have. And like I said before, we're really gonna miss you. So, but thank you so much.
thank you.
All right. You guys are more than welcome to hang out with us, but I know you probably have something much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody did out of the meetings. She's.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
How many years?
All right, now to the not so much fuss, no. So, do we have any public comment out there? If not, we'll just, move along here. We'll get to the consent agenda. And as always, if there's any questions, I think Angela wanted to remove.
Yeah, I would like to make, I'd like to make a motion to remove, item number 7, exhibit number 7 regarding the Champaign County Balloon Festival special event permit. I would like to move that to new business for discussion or somewhere off of the consent agenda.
Okay.
I'll second.
Right, Page,
Yes.
Sally,
Yes.
Painter,
Yes.
Wolfensberger,
Yes.
Cummins.
Yes.
Lidle,
Okay, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, all except item number 7?
Are there any questions?
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda without nothing as presented. I'll second.
Yeah, and there isn't any further questions for me. Okay.
Sally,
Yes.
Painter,
Yes.
Wolfensberger,
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Lidle,
Well, let's see, I will. To help Nicholas get out of here a little sooner, we'll go ahead and do. Nicholas, and you're here to talk about Elm Street in Monroe, correct?
Yeah, I didn't really have a presentation or anything
Okay.
prepared, it's just in case it was questions since. I
Okay.
guess we talked
So,
about it.
we have a resolution to execute the notice of intent to award Elm and Monroe Street sanitary sewer replacement project. So do you guys have questions or things? Nicholas will be happy to answer them for you if you do. Otherwise, we'll just need an approval to accept the amount of Starks excavating. And that's all contingent upon our approval of our low interest loan, and also what the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency needs approvals on that also. But
I guess just two things I would add, so the project came in under budget, thankfully, which I feel like hasn't happened recently. We were, our initial estimates are around 6.5, and then our estimate at the time of bidding was around 5.8. I think the numbers are in there, and a little bit was about 4.9 million, so we've got some savings there. And then on top of that, I should have included in the letter, but we'll get 15% principal forgiveness from the EPA with this loan. So that'll be on the order of, $750,000 or somewhere.
now, have we had the final approval on that loan?
That's what this is for. So we'll
Okay,
get
so
the
that
loan
is-
at the end of the month.
Okay. Because that's what I said, I didn't think I had seen all that yet, but. So if they approve everything, that automatically gets the 15%? Or does that have to come as a second approval kind of
But that'll be written into the loan.
written part of it? Okay, great. So is there any other questions? Anybody?
Motion to accept it?
I'll second.
Painter,
Yes.
Wolfensberger,
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Sally,
Yes.
Lidle.
Thank you very
you.
much, Nicholas.
Thank you.
All right, enjoy your evening. All right, second item is the resolution. Art had talked about that. It's in your packet. He was wanting to have a source of revenue for the Parks and Recreation Fund. So it would be for the gaming that currently goes to the stormwater fund. He was wanting to reallocate that over to Parks and Recreation. Is there any questions or discussion on that?
I think it's a good idea. If nobody has any questions, I make a motion that we do it. I'll second.
Wolfersberger,
Yes.
Cummins,
No.
Page,
Yes.
Valley,
Yes.
Painter,
Yes.
4-1.
Next item would be the special event permit, with the Champaign County Balloon Festival. I actually had spoke with Mr. McDaniel, this afternoon. And I told him, because I asked him a few questions that I hope to answer all your questions. So, anyway, but I told him, I said, well, there's probably, since he's already did his presentation, I didn't think it was necessary, but, he acted like, because you're concerned about the soccer field.
Well, I'm concerned about being everywhere. I mean, the one, and also the money. Is $1,500 to have the balloons, and we don't know how many people would actually theoretically show up if the event is between 6 and 9 AM. But, if there's 13 balloons, that's at least 13 trucks, probably more than that, 13 trailers. I mean, where are they all gonna go? I mean, it's not just the soccer, they certainly can't all go on the soccer field. Are they gonna go on the football field? Are they gonna go up north by the interstate? Where?
No, he had met Joe and I out there actually last year when they thought they were gonna get to do it, and then it didn't happen last year. And he looked at the fields and he did think it would be adequate space. So, but I did ask him, could you be surprised how tight they can all be to put up their balloons? I don't know if you've ever been to one of the festivals, but I know over in Vermillion County, there's like over 20. And it's out on the airfield in a space that's not as big as you would think. And they all have their spaces, they're all signed their spaces, and they use it tightly. But anyway, but he did mention, I asked him about if we could go further north, if there was concerns about the soccer field. And he was gonna come and double check it, but he said if it's grassy, it shouldn't be a problem. As long as it's, grassy and, it's not, like a torn up field or something like that. And I said, well, we mow it, so it's grassy, but he acted like also just in the parking area, for some reason it was wet. That even though it's not ideal for them to lift on asphalt, just because the balloons are fragile materials and things. He said, but worst case scenario, they could do that. But when they go out there, it's not like they're driving on the fields. They go out and they park and then they leave. So, it's not, and most generally it's usually the one truck. And that's because they are in a tight space. They have their one truck and their balloon baskets. And usually I know Vermillion County, that's about anybody. Some of them have vans versus, and so they have all their stuff there together, but they all do have to keep it a pretty tight space. So, but anyway, so that, and then as far as the $1,500, that's only if we want to sponsor a balloon. They'll come out whether we sponsor a balloon or not.
I asked him that question.
I know, and
And he said no, that they would not come unless we.
And I reached out to him,
$1,500.
because that was never my understanding, so I think he misunderstood your question, because I confirmed that with him today. I said, so will you guys plan to come out whether or not we sponsor a balloon or not? And he said, yes, that's only if we want to sponsor a balloon. Of course, they're always pushing for sponsors because they need money to do the event, but if we sponsored a balloon, that would be totally separate than them coming out in the morning. So, but anyway.
And they have to, and so I still have concerns about like this, why on the soccer field? Why not beyond the soccer field? And
Well, that's what he's gonna go look
he's
into,
gonna
see
go,
if it's
because
feasible.
I'm opposed to it being.
He's gotta be able to use that other area out there. It's just as grassy as soccer
Yeah,
field.
or the football field, the youth football field, not ridiculous.
Yeah.
They could do that, use that. I mean, why,
Yeah.
we're spending money to try to maintain these fields and pay Spring Green or, whoever it is, we pay. And then that's also during soccer season, but, You know, and then to have, that will be, I'm sure they'll take a truck and a trailer all out there and people and they'll all take their golf carts out there. And it'll be, that's a
The
lot.
golf carts can't.
I
go
didn't
there,
know,
that would be
this.
safe.
I thought we weren't doing that.
There were,
Anymore.
when that last one went,
The high school plays at the
There
high
was a-
school.
Right,
Yeah.
Kids play there some though.
Yeah, cause now, the junior high, they're still playing at Hackler Park, aren't they? Didn't they choose to play out there? So I
so
think it's
who's
just
actually
that,
using that?
The younger rec kids are over on the smaller fields over there still. I don't know if anybody's on the big one,
I think SJFC is on it.
is it, are they?
cause I know previously, one of the football groups preferred Hackler Park for some reason.
Who's SJFC?
St. Joseph Football Club, which is soccer.
Oh, okay.
It's just
So
the
it's
name
high
of that.
school.
No, it's the rec club. So
Okay.
that's the name of it, but it encompasses both travel and rec soccer. But that's the name of both of those.
So we don't have an agreement with the high school anymore to put money
No.
into that.
No.
This is all our own money,
They're up to,
or are you
They're
guys
up to
putting
high
something
school.
into that?
no, I'm not involved in soccer.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
So,
pretty
I mean,
much all
it's
used,
the city property or whatever, okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, the
I
high
think,
school.
I think it'd be neat, even if it was a total bust, I would still think it would be neat for the community, and if nobody attended it, then we would know better in the future, just as they, know more or less. About it.
I mean, it's one of those unknown things with the balloon festivals. Every year you do it because if the weather's crappy that weekend, it's a total wash. Nothing happens, nothing happens at Champaign. I mean, they might, sometimes they do the light where they all are stable and don't go up, but they just light them all up.
That's only at night.
Yeah, it's only at night.
That's only at night.
Yeah. So,
During the day.
during the day, if the weather turns bad. Now conceivably, if the weather, sometimes that's why they do it so early in the morning is because sometimes the wind is a little better and you can. Matter of fact, some of the Bloom Fest actually get liftoff on that Saturday morning and none of the rest of the weekend because it's, too windy or too wet or something, and they for sure don't like to, if there's any wetness at all, they don't like to put the balloons out when it's damp at all, so.
Now, Terry, when you've done Danville, have you been there that early? Is there a pretty good crowd?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. I think it'd be. neat.
And I know over at the one in Vermillion County now that happens at the airport, there's a lot of people from St. Joe that go over for that all,
Yeah.
so, cause I go over there and I work it and I see them.
And we've got 3 local guys that have done the balloons, Mark Woodard and Richard Denhardt's boy Byron. Which I don't know if he's part of it, but I don't know if he still does. And then also, his name's going blank now, in Forrest Chisholm's boy. One of his sons does the balloons, he comes over from Indy, but at the fire department, right now, Rusty's gonna double check with the fire department, but I think what might happen there is they will just host the breakfast for the pilots and their sponsors. And then, because they were concerned about doing too many fundraisers at the fire department. So they were gonna just probably do the breakfast for them. And then maybe have a time for the public, for kids, if they wanna come and exchange the pilots all have these little cards that with their pilot information that they hand out. The kids like to collect them like cards that kids collect, but then they'll do that. And they even kind of mentioned that if it was feasible to have maybe one blue kind of out on display for the kids, but that way all the pilots can still hang around and they can visit with the pilots after, but just not have a big, breakfast for all the public. So the breakfast would strictly be for the pilots, but so the fire department is so far seem to be on board for that aspect of it anyway.
And are we funding the breakfast?
No,
The fire
that's,
department's gonna fund it.
no, that would be through the festival people. So, and that's what sort of the sponsorships go towards is to help pay for those sort of things, so.
And were you planning on sponsoring?
I thought it would be nice to get our logo on one of the balloons, to sponsor one of the balloons, but like I said, I did confirm with him that they would come out either way, so.
But
I think it'd be nice to sponsor.
Would the breakfast be something where we could offer to some of the sports teams that if they wanted to host a breakfast, you know, their been breakfast like at the pavilion out at the park? If they
Yeah.
wanted to do it as a fundraiser for a community breakfast, that-
They could, because he was open, and because he was the one that kind of mentioned, having like a little food truck or something out there with donuts or whatever, but yeah, if one of the sports teams wanted to serve donuts and coffee or
Yeah,
something, because he was just
something
thinking if there's
basic or-
people that come out that early in the morning, it would be nice to have a little something for them. It doesn't take them a super long time to get the balloons up and everything, so I figure most people are gonna be hanging out by their cars, that early in the morning, waiting for the lift off, but most of them, he's been to some of the early morning ones, but usually it's too early for me, but I go later in the evening, so, but anyway, but usually, I mean, there's not a lot of fanfare, they go out, set up, and get off as quick as they can, because most generally they have their day kind of planned out for them too, so they do their thing and get back, and then usually meet for their breakfast, and then divvy up the rest of their day with things usually at the festival, so anyway, but so I was hoping I could answer all the questions, so, but
So is it down to making a motion
yes.
or? So I make a motion, we move forward with it.
And what we're.
With or without sponsoring
I say,
$1,500.
my motion is we move forward with a donation to sponsor.
I second.
Okay, Cummings,
Yes.
Page,
No,
Val,
No.
Painter,
Yes,
Wolfers.
No,
Okay, so then we would have 2 to 3 motion fail.
I'll let them know.
can I motion to move forward without sponsorship?
If you want to change the motion to do it without sponsorship, then
I would like the motion to move forward without sponsorship.
I'll second.
you just seconded me.
Okay. Page,
yes.
Val,
Yes.
Painter,
Yes,
Wolfers,
Yes.
Cummings.
Yes.
Okay, 5-0, motion passes.
so, we will proceed with the plans to have them come out, and I'll just let them know that we're not gonna sponsor one this year. Maybe my husband will sponsor. Oh.
As far as you know.
Everybody heard that, right? And he grinned, he smiled, so.
Grinned.
Good sign. So, all right, we'll move on. Old business, we talked about this waiver. Do we have the information for this resolution for? So,
So we'll push that to a future agenda and all. That was my mistake, so we'll get that pushed to a future agenda.
right, then the next thing we have is, Joe, do you have any additional updates other than what's in our packet?
Yes, 2 things. Brief Slack met with me today at the church to take pictures and start getting measurements, so they're moving forward with their process. The second thing is I would like to organize tours with each one of you in small groups or individually. We could even potentially do a special meeting if it's the only way we can make it work, but of doing the tour of the wastewater treatment plant and the construction progress, but then also for you to get a feel and see what the operators are doing out there on a daily basis, so you can learn more about that. We're wanting to do it the last 2 weeks of June. So I'll be sending out a request for a few days, and then if you just take a look at your schedule tonight, and then respond and let me know. What you can make work and I'll get it organized, but other than that, that's all I have.
Mark, do you have anything?
I do not.
All right, thank you. Mike?
Nope.
No.
Good report, Mike.
Yeah. We don't have Mike on, Mike.
Nobody's on.
So do we have anything new from Public Works that you're?
Then we'll have the report at the next meeting.
Okay. All right, I have a couple of things here on my desk. First thing, I just wanted to throw it out there. Are you guys interested at all in having any further discussions on the trash pickup as a contract with any of the trash haulers?
I like the idea of it, but somebody was saying
I
that,
know.
was it you who was saying ABC is like dirt cheap?
I think our.
Yeah, somebody said
They are.
ABC was cheap. Personally, I like the idea. I did the little poll. I got a 50-50 response. I felt like the people who were against it are very, very strongly against it. And I just personally don't care enough to fight with people about it.
My personal concern is just because it did seem like that was such a, last summer when Apple's retired, it seemed like it was a hot item. That seemed like a lot of people take their trash very personally. And as far as the pickup and who picks up and who's deciding who's picking it up and all that, so I personally don't feel like we need to add that to what we got going on already in the village office.
I agree.
And just, I just don't think that, I don't see a big enough demand out there that would,
They're not knocking down the door, so I say no.
yeah.
Sorry
So-
to the part of the village that appreciated saving money like I would have, but yeah, no.
Yeah, and, you know, I would think it would have to be a lot of savings to make it worth us for us to take that on, so. I will, so I'll for sure, because I had one of the haulers reach out to me and was wanting to know where we were at with that, and so. The next thing, on the list, our electrical aggregation program was to get started, or is to get started on July. And lo and behold, again this year, Ameren is just enough below our contract that, it's not a lot that it's, he's got it, our consultant has it, that it's like a less than, about a 3%. Less than what our contract is. So he has it figured out that a typical residential consumer would, it'd be maybe a $20 difference a year. So it's not a lot, but I am going to, have this posted on our website and everything because I think everybody probably got their letters here just in the past week or so with your opt-out card. There'd be a little yellow card in your notices saying that Homefield would be your new electrical supplier. So if you don't do anything, it'll automatically go to Homefield. That's how it works when we have the contract. But Ameren always does their bidding later than all these other people do. And so the last couple of years, they've come in just a little, they thought they'd have it a little, and it is close, so it's not too far. But if you would rather stay on Ameren and save the extra $20 for a typical, then you need to opt out. So, and it's just as simple, if you still have the yellow card, I think it's still time in there that you can just send that back, it's postage free. You just fill it in that you wanna opt out, or there's the 800 number, and we'll have that posted in the letter on the website.
It is on the website now.
Is it already?
Yes.
Okay, thank you,
I
Debbie.
wonder, is there a way to opt out? Cause I'm on solar with Ameren, I don't think I can.
You cannot.
Right, so I don't, if somebody opts me into something and I'm
You have
just
to
out
opt
low.
out.
Yeah, so I don't know. if I
I'm
can
I've
just
got the
say,
same thing, I've got solar too.
yeah, then I think I need to say I'm opt out.
See, so everybody who
You
has,
can't do it permanently, you have to each time.
Oh, you do? Okay, I've just got.
so if you do have the solar deal, you do have to stick with Ameren then to get your savings?
I think. so.
Yeah, what, Ameren stuck buying your energy dollar for dollar, so they pay what they sell for list price, they have to buy for list price up to what you actually use. So in order to do that, to get that credit, you've gotta buy your energy from them.
Yeah.
And if you get kicked off, you'll see your bill jump and then they'll remind you to go ahead, and you can opt out at the last minute and just lose a month or two of credit, but.
Yeah, because that's an interesting thing, because things have changed so much with this, between the electrical aggregation and now the solar aspect of everything that, you know, I don't, that's the first time I've ever heard that, but to me,
No, I
that's,
thought that was the case.
yeah,
so,
that's a good
yeah.
point to everybody who
And I
has.
think Ogden gets into that homestead too. I just got my letter from them that I need to opt out there too.
Yeah, and I know the county just did theirs with, Harbor Energy or something like that, so everybody that's outside of the county, has theirs with, I think it's called Harbor Energy is who they're with, but, matter of fact, their rate that I saw for them is definitely higher than what Ameren is gonna be, so the people, honestly, in the county need to opt out. I mean, they have a substantial savings, but anyway, so, you know, I don't know, before we go into another contract, I think we could seriously consider not messing with, I don't know, it just seems like this has happened twice to us now, and I wanna save our residents money. But if the market and everything's getting kind of out of whack,
And yeah, I don't know if it would be good to put a note in there on the website. I mean, maybe those people wouldn't see it anyway, but I feel like some people who are new to solar may not realize that they're messing up, and then they'll be like, oh, get my.
yeah, cause the other people with solar, that'd be a whole new thing for them too,
Yeah.
so. But anyway, so that's that, the letter, we'll have it in the office too, if people wanna pick up the letter, I'll just let you copy some, Debbie, they have there. And if anybody has questions, you can, if you guys don't feel like you can answer the questions for them, go ahead and you can send them to me and I'll try and explain it. So I know with a lot of my senior citizens, I try to explain it to them and get them through it. So anyway, the next thing I want to do a big thank you. Summerfest was a success on Saturday. I know I kept looking down at Angela's tent. She looked like she was pretty busy with her.
We are so busy. You know, I just randomly said the women's club, let's have a rock painting booth just for fun, because then we can, you know, hide all the rocks. They can take them if they want, or we'll take them. And, I had no idea how it was gonna go over, and I brought 102 rocks from my fire pit at Lake Mattoon, and at 12, it started at 10, and at 12:30, I had to call somebody and bring more rocks. I mean, we had about 15 left, but I'm like, there was still, you know, like a couple hours left, so.
And I
we were
saw
very
a lot of
busy.
plates of rocks walking around. They were all nicely painted.
Yeah.
Moms and dads.
Yeah.
I think we did a lot of, want to keep their rocks.
Yeah, so quite a few did. I mean, we probably have about maybe 70 that they left for us to hide. In fact, before I came to this meeting, I was tooling around in my golf cart.
Yeah.
I only hit about 20 of them, and then, cause I wanna go, you know, I went to the parks and, you know, put them on fire hydrants and places, but.
Some, I can throw some on my way home.
Yeah. But I wanna do some around downtown, but I, you know, want to do that maybe like when it was dark, sort of go set it on the window ledge of the post office. But anyway, yeah, it seemed like it was pretty steady, you know, everywhere. I don't know how things went for the other vendors, but.
I thought it was great.
The rain held off.
Yeah,
fortunately, just
the
a little
weather-
sprinkle.
cooperated for us nicely, but I want to big time thank our employees. Debbie and Ashley did an awesome job in the office, and I know Ashley, you know, did a lot getting the sponsorships that we got, and anyway, Dustin, Stuart, Josh, and Mike all came in on Saturday morning and helped do balloons. Our helium ran out quicker than we anticipated, but so we ended up blowing up a lot. My husband got recruited on that one too. So anyway, so he got to blow up lots of balloons too. needless to say, my fingers were a little sore after tying a few balloons, but I tried to get Joe to do more of them, but no. Actually, he tied his fair share, so.
I was an expert.
Yeah, so anyway, but and Angela helped out, like, I said, getting the women's stuff and every, all the vendors, I want to thank, the FFA did their petting zoo, and that always seems to be a hit with the kids with the petting zoo. Living Word had some inflatable games also that they did up here, and that was some kind of different for the kids, but they, I think, had a great time there too, so. I just want to thank everybody who helped with that, and I said, I know the office did a lot of it, and we are businesses, so I think it was a successful summer fest, so I hope it goes on for the future to have, you know, I just think it's a good thing to do in our downtown, so anyway, I want to thank Stuart, he did fill our concrete planters, got those done before Saturday, so made our downtown look nice, so I appreciate that. And then Thursday, was notified actually late Friday, so there's a bike club that will be traveling all the way from like Decatur. Anyway, they spend the night Wednesday night in Champaign, and then they split up. There's about 140 of them. And some of them will be coming down the trail. Some of them, they have a second route that kind of goes through Homer Lake, I guess on some of the country roads or whatever. So there's 2 different routes. So they don't know specifically which, you know, they don't all come together 140 at one time. They all kind of leave at their own separate times. So it might be, you know, packs of 3 and 4 or 3 and 8 or whatever. But I'm making a list of all of our businesses that have food and drinks and things that I think I'm gonna email it to the guy that notified me. And I've talked to some of the businesses too, that if they wanted to do a special coupon or anything to entice them to come to their place. And I just want to give them a heads up, because if for some reason all 140 decide to come this way and not go the other way.
When is that?
Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
So, and they figured they should be rolling in somewhere. He said it depends on what time they leave the hotel. I know.
Supposed
So-
to rain.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
back going Thursday, I think.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. You know, this is to be one of those things that I hope we can build on over time as the trail, you know, gets connected, because, you know, these bike groups are always looking for trails to go on. And like I said, this is a big one that, like I said, they're starting out in Decatur and stuff, so, but anyway.
How late? What time? It's like Wheelhouse, how many they open?
Yeah,
I don't-
and
Yeah.
and they already know that Wheelhouse is gonna be open.
Oh, so it'll be before
Yeah,
that for
um,
sure.
The guy that notified me, I guess he was out here over the weekend and talked to them at the Wheelhouse, but, but anyway, but everyone else, I'm kind of giving a heads up. And then, like I said, I'll have the list that I will give to him with what each place has to offer and kind of their address too, so that they will know approximately where they're at here in town. So anyway, so if you see some, you know, hopefully we'll get a lot of bikes on Thursday, and that will be exciting. So anyway, that's all I have.
What time Thursday do you open?
They said they could probably start rolling in around 11 or so, potentially.
Oh, lunchtime.
Yeah, it'd be more
Oh,
for lunchtime,
like late, okay,
yeah.
okay.
And he said it kind of just depends on when they all leave the hotel. If they're really early morning risers, and then also which route. He said, and some of them might do both routes. Some of them might go one way and then come back around, loop around. So anyway, it's kind of interesting. So to see how that all works out, but hopefully it's, you know, the beginning of something. And I know, I think the other route even somehow included Sydney. So I'm sure they notified the Sydney Dairy Barn that they might have some people rolling their way. So anyway, that's all I have. Do you guys, anyone from the trustees have anything? No? So, all right, well, I do want to go into closed session.
So I make a motion to enter into executive session for limited purpose of discussing the appointment, discipline, performance, or dismissal of one or more specific individuals pursuant to the 5 ILCS 120/2 C1.
That's second.
You know, around, do we, I think we don't.
You have to do a roll. Yeah, roll call vote.
Okay. Val,
Here, no, yes,
Just us.
yeah.
gotcha.
See you, Butch.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Full first vote,
Yes.
comments,
Yes.
motion passes.